this audience of people see me coming out on these crutches. People are sorry for me. They're like, oh God, what is this? What happened to him? And then I know it's my job once I sit down to pull them out of that concern and make them not just pay attention, but make them laugh. Comedy was not always the plan. I wasn't going to run track and field for Trinidad and Tobago. It was paralysis that was progressing. It started in my feet and it was just moving up. My arms became paralyzed. By Friday, I couldn't move anything but my eyes. By Friday night, my respiratory system began to be paralyzed. Other comedians, they always say they're like intimate spaces. You want to perform for 1-2 people. I want Napa. My big brother walk up to the bed and I look in to see like, I don't know, I smile, hello, whatever. He just look at me and I was like, oh God, I look it bad, is it for me? He just started to cry. And my sister started to cry too. I was like, well, okay. First of all, very horrible bedside manner.
You are now live with us on the Corie Sheppard podcast.
Mommy, look out for me and get through. Don't miss this one.
It's gonna be sexy.
Yvonne, let me say a prayer before they start the podcast. You want to say a prayer?
Keep on, Kyle. Yeah.
Welcome to the Corie Sheppard podcast. Welcome back to everybody who's been listening. Thank you for all the new viewers and listeners that are tuning in. Today I have with us who I've been threatened, warned, advised, and instructed by people who I consider to be the greatest comedians I ever see. I could call names. I've been instructed by Ms. Rachel Price to get this gentleman here. I've been instructed by Jervale Junior Lee Limo to get this gentleman here. And today we have with us Mr. Kevin Soyer. How are you going, sir?
Thank you for having me. I'm so sorry that happened to you. So that's life, you know. That's life. 1 week here interviewing Marshall Montano, you're up here. And then life does humble you. Just bring you down. And you have to go through things like that. But it's to make you stronger.
What we going to tell people is we record this before Marshall anyway. So, brother, everything good?
I'm good. I'm all right. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you here.
Happy the threats work.
It worked. We've been under duress. So we did it, right? You're here. How was it Jamaica versus Trinidad clash?
It was good. Yeah, I just came back from that.
Where was Canada?
It was Canada. It was Brampton. So it was really, really good. It was a lot of Caribbean people were there. Mm-hmm. So it was really well received. You know, the Jamaican team, they were really hospitable and had a great time. It was really good. The comedy, it was good to see our comedy work on a foreign stage, even though it was a lot of Caribbean people. Right. They just went over really well and it was a great time.
So it's something I do regularly at Canada. Is a big market.
That was my first Canada show. Thanks to Japol, the comedian. He's like worked with Russell Peters and stuff like that. He's established and he's brought across many Trini comedians there. So I kind of write a passage. So I guess now I've made it.
How it feel to be on stage there?
I made it anyway. But that was nice. And to go there with, like you mentioned, Junior Lee and his team and stuff like that. So having Japol there, Junior Lee there. We made up the Trini team and it was really good.
Who won the Jamaican side now?
J. Martin, for sure. He was the captain.
Right.
And then the other people who were on the flyer.
Okay. That is the kind of Trinidadianness we want. We want to, when we have Jamaica versus Trinidad, we want the Trinidad team to
really
not know who is there.
It was really about us. And we did destroy them.
You did?
We really did. They had to admit it. We really destroyed them. So
nice.
We expected no less.
I was glad to see that though, and salute to Japol for doing it because that was so common when I was coming up. I'm a real stand-up comedy fan, right?
Right.
And when there was a time where after Carnival, immediately it would swing to comedy. The thing, whether it's skit-based or usually it was a combination. People who didn't stand-up or skits. But you used to have Sprang Along and them versus Oliver and them. It was a very, very common thing.
Yeah.
I wonder how you feel about it as you dominating the space here.
Dominating the space?
That's what the people... I see it, Don't play again. I see. And as I say, I was a fan of stand-up. You sit down in a pocket that I see with the greats internationally.
Right.
That's all songs I keep about that comfort with silence, the types of jokes that you tell, the types of topics that you're willing to touch and so on. So dominating.
You think
I
come to with silence?
I find so.
Where you see me before?
In Queen's Hall?
Like on Queen's Hall?
Yeah.
My show or somebody else?
No, somebody else. You just had a part to play in the show. Could it have been Simi? I don't want to call you wrong set.
See, when you just went Simi show?
I went Simi show.
You like rudeness?
I like rudeness.
That's why you like, he's a rude man. I hear that about you, because if you go and see me show, you like real...
100. My mother says she wants to go. I'm glad you say that. My mother said, I would like to see that Simi girl. I said, Mommy.
Oh, no.
I said, the podcast was different to what Simi is.
Wow. Yeah, no. So for me, I do have a reputation of being comfortable with silence. So that's interesting. Maybe it was a particular show because a lot of people think that I tend to, I always moving really fast. Right. So I need to consciously slow myself down. But also, I like to always punctuate punchline.
Right.
Because as you did mention, yeah, a lot of the topics, because I pull comedy from trauma. So I'm comfortable with that uncomfortable topics. Definitely, I will go there, talk about, whatever, because I mean, I pull from my life. So there's, some traumatic things to talk about there. But yeah, I think, interesting pocket in that way. I think I've been really well received. So I'm really fortunate in that way. People tend to pay attention, but I think I had to earn it, because for me, whenever I go on stage, so I'm never nervous on stage. I've never experienced that nervousness on stage, like performing nervous. I've never had that sensation.
Yes.
But I'm nervous from the time the announcer says my name to when I'm seated and have the mic, I'm very nervous, because in that moment I have no control. This audience of people see me coming out on these crutches. People are sorry for me. They're like, oh God, what is this? There's a skit hour. What happened to he? What character is this? And I have no control of what they're thinking, how they perceiving me. And that does be like really nerve-wracking. And then I know it's my job once I sit down to pull them out of that concern and that distraction and make them not just pay attention, but make them laugh.
Oh, so it's deliberate that you address it as soon as you get there.
Have to.
Serious?
I've tried before not, and people are distracted. They're like, does he know he have? He know he don't. I'm telling me, yeah. They don't know that I know. So, or they don't know how to react. They don't have permission yet to laugh. So, out the gate, I address it. So once I address it, we could be good. He talk about it. He laughing about it. And that makes it comfortable. Sometimes a host will do it as well. Like Wendell Bumpart, he would always say something like, I bring into the stage this man, Kevin Soyer. And one thing about Kevin, he's never passed me straight.
Yeah.
And he went,
oh, you do it up front?
all right, Wendell. Or we sometimes a DJ would get in on it like Rebel Rango.
Oh, Rebel is a DJ.
He would,
so
he say, Kevin Soyer, and he went, when my legs don't work like they used to before, you play that song and everybody else will laugh. But it just takes this sting out of it and gives people permission to just relax and laugh. So from the time I hold the mic and I say the first word, I don't be nervous. It's the most comfortable I feel ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And I love people like other comedians, they always say they're like intimate spaces. They want to perform for 1-2 people. I want Napa.
Really?
Napa too small. Crowd. I want the stadium. I like a big crowd. It feel like an instrument. It feel like you're playing them. You're getting them to go up, and then you're getting them to come in, and then you're getting them. I like that. So
yeah, I think that's what I mean with the silence. Because, for instance, I see you say things that the crowd pull back. So, for instance, you will address your disability. You almost do it out the gate. And sometimes the crowd might pull back. I see it on YouTube where people say, you say that.
Yeah.
And you're unflinched. You're unnerved by it.
You have to. And yeah, so I'm happy to address it. And that's in everyday life. That's just how I navigate, especially Trinidad and Tobago. People will say something, and once they can come, the thing with Trini is there's the genuine concern, then they kind of feeling out to say, okay, are we, can I ask a question? Can I whatever? And they realize my feeling towards it, oh, everybody's a comedian.
Yeah.
Everybody's a comedian. All of a sudden is, we hear this now, Soyer. We does a stand-up comedy. But you can't stand up. So give him a change. Just give him a change. But no, yeah. So yeah, that's like the stages of it. But yeah, something I'm very comfortable. It's just my way. I realized very early addressing it. And it's just how I did it out the gate.
Yeah.
I guess when we get in any backstory, I don't want to, because I ramble too much, David. If I talking too much, yell at me, scream. If I talking too much, just tell me shut up.
You could never talk too much here. So is it different when you go out to the audience in Canada in terms of, because you're comfortable doing it here, any less comfortable there addressing it?
Listen, I do have I will tell you, okay, so for me, when I went there, I was prepared in using material that you're accustomed using, that you know solid. So that's one thing. You get towards making it universally understandable.
Sure.
That's another thing. But I think I was a little too fixated on that, right? So I went there, and the most important note before I left here in the airport, when I reached all over, slow down, Kevin, slow down your speech, right? So I went out there thinking, so for this Brampton show, there was a 2 p.m. and a 7 p.m. 2 p.m. I went out there, got great responses and everything. They enjoyed it and everything. But the note I got from some friends who came to see me, they were like, you could be more yourself. You don't need to pander that much to them. You don't need to try to make your references so Canadian or try to make it so universal. You don't need to, pull back so much, because they understand. And even the people who are not Caribbean, they get in the context. They could read into it. So you can relax. So even though the first one went well, thankfully there was a 7 p.m. and I just went out there and I was just fully, and that one killed. Both was good, but the second one, I felt good, they felt good. I just knew like, yeah, it was really, really good. So yeah, I think my approach going forward, yes, you have to be mindful of, speaking too fast or anything like that and using references that people could understand. But apart from that, it's comedy. People, they know what they're coming for and they can understand it.
And they try to relate, I guess.
Yeah.
A comparison for me would be, I went the other day in Queens Hall again to see Donald Rawlings.
Yeah. Oh, you went to that one?
Yeah.
Okay,
It was
nice.
real good though.
It was good.
Yeah. Because I've seen a lot of American comedians over
Who
the
stand out
years.
here on the Trini side? Trini.
Kivo was real good on the
Kivo
night.
always our boss.
And
Jerome.
who's the man who's doing the backflip?
Jerome.
Jerome
Richardson, very, very good.
Yeah. Simi was there too. They were good, but Kivo, again, it's just I maybe I read it because I'm very nervous to go on stage. I read the calmness that
You light up when they say Kivo.
Yeah.
Not like when they say Kevin Sawyer.
You see
It's
that?
like, we can't get Kivo. We can't get Kivo on this one.
David.
We have to have Kevin Sawyer.
Nah, he
But
do
yeah,
good. He do
he
good.
do
He do
good.
good.
Yeah, he's a
But I
boss.
felt as though, Queens Hall didn't sell out. It was about half the audience, and even the half that was there, half the arena, what's it called, the hall?
Yeah, the
And
auditorium.
then auditorium, half of that. So the block off the top side.
Yeah.
And then the bottom side was maybe about halfway full. So he wasn't coming out to a warm audience. I'm gonna put it like that, right? Because
okay.
I saw Donald Lawrence before in Florida. He had opened for Sheppard.
Okay.
And I mean that's what you're talking about there, 7,000 people.
Yeah.
And he's go. It's energetic.
As you mentioned, Kivo was the first comedian. So how I got into comedy, I know you'll get to that, but I went immediately and did it on television for the first time. Immediately, for the first time, did my first 5 minutes on TV. It worked really well. And from there, I got to go to open mics. But in the open mics, everybody was trying a thing.
Right.
And my impression of comedy was like, Trinidad trying a thing with comedy. And the first show I got booked where Kivo was on, I was like, oh my gosh, like you could actually do this.
Yeah.
You could really do this proper. This could be a serious thing. Kivo managed it. It was like, yeah. So he was my inspiration, my first inspiration for like local comedy and what it could be like.
Yeah.
And of course, after that, I saw Errol Fabian and I was like, okay.
I see.
Yeah, this thing.
So
was
Kivo is
serious.
only OG? That's what's going on there?
No, well, Errol is more the OGs, but Kivo kind of in between the OG and peer
Gotcha.
kind of space. And yeah, a lot of us have a lot of reverence for him because we would have seen him at a different level when we were just coming in.
Understood.
And he's always very accessible. He's always very supportive. Kivo is a.
Oh, he's not
amazing.
just saying that then?
Nah, he really is supportive and
Okay.
accessible and that kind of thing to us, So
Yeah.
it's a good one.
So eventually when I was trying to figure out, okay, what Donald Rollins is going to do here because the crowd's still cold. He walked off the stage coming from the audience and did it from the ground, which I thought, I'm watching it as mastery. I was like, okay,
Right,
this man
yeah.
figuring out what to do as he go along.
Yeah.
And you're trying to feel out this small audience now, and he went all the way in. Because
Right.
he said this man sent me a message, he said we can't cuss on this guy.
Right.
Immediately, and from the time he said that,
Yeah.
I think he kind of owned the crowd from that standpoint. Yeah. So I always wondered how it was for you, and I appreciate you talking about that because some of the complaints about Junior Lee when Speed was here is like talking too fast and talking like too much about Trini, and I wonder if we have to adjust for every market that we go to.
Hey, I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm a Junior Lee apologist and he can do no wrong in my eyes. And the whole of Trinidad and Tobago is wrong and Junior Lee is right. Too bad. Sorry, but even if I try to be objective, I still think he was doing the right thing. He was, sharing what we have with the world. I mean, accents and I mean, okay, just slowing down could be one thing, but people wanted him to speak like
Speed.
like speed, like somebody said, I don't know, oh gosh, somebody said Carla Fudringham or somebody. They said, should I done
told
it?
me. It's like,
I was like, what?
Salute to Carla Fudringham, but I don't know that. I don't know that it meets an eye.
He was the perfect. He was the perfect person for that job. He was perfect person for that job.
Ideal. When
He's
he
a
was
boss.
here, he said that when he see you laugh, he know he could do this thing. He said you all used to perform
A
in
lot
front
of
of
them,
mics and stuff, and he said you go down in the crowd.
Yeah.
So wait, is it a hard audience or you just?
I don't know. I think even for you, like maybe in your life, people have a perception of you, or maybe like your peers have a perception of you, or they seek something from you. I don't know why, because I know you as lost as I am. But Kevin Sawyer have tough. I know you're struggling. 100%. Right? But no, I think it's not I think I'm a big fan of our local comedians. Are very protective and possessive and I really I love them. I genuinely love them. I've been up close and got to see what a lot of people haven't seen the growth, seen the journey. So I feel genuinely invested in all of them.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like I really, they would have to speak to what it is, but I do hear many times people will come off stage and be like, yes, I do good tonight. Kevin was doing this.
Yeah. People, he said it. That's exactly what he did.
And it's not on purpose. It's like, I laugh like my grandfather, he's cackle, he's laugh from like his soul. So if you make me laugh, I am just, I love to be, as somebody who always trying to make people laugh as well. You know, it's good when people can make you laugh.
Got you.
So I just laugh. So I guess maybe that's what I don't know.
I'm with you. So it starts off on TV. How did that come about? Because that's not the place that most people start.
Yeah, that's not how I started in performing, but comedy, yes. So I was we jumping around the story. Should I go to front? Oh, you okay, right?
Yeah,
Use a pro.
If you're
pro.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What always do is edit it together, make it look like a good story.
Oh, okay. Nah, he's
how it ended up being on TV, being that first big gig?
Yeah, so I was doing videos online. And initially I started doing videos where I would talk about issues facing persons with disabilities as a person with disability and infuse some humor into it to make it more palatable, make it more, digestible for people. People were saying, still sad, but I would do it, right? I made a valiant effort. Right. And then I started to make, a little one or two stupid videos. So I remember making this one video where I got 3 bourbon in a pack. Which is a devastating experience for anybody, 100%. Hardest day of my life. So I made this whole video recording it, right? 400,000 something views online. So from that, CNC reached out to me and they were like, we have this segment on the rundown called Make Us Laugh or something.
Right.
If you're funny online, come and see if you're funny in person. I'd never done stand-up comedy before. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. So I went there and I had to do 5 minutes. And I did 5 minutes about, again, the funny things with having a disability and about my grandparents. Because my grandparents, when I ended up with a disability, were, I love my mom, love my family, but my grandparents were like that support system. They really came and were there for me a lot, And so, and of course, in that situation, I'm just observing them. So I'm seeing funny things about them, little nuances and the behaviors and everything. So it's very easy for me to mimic the behavior and find humor in it. So I infused that into it. Anyway, the set went very, very well.
On rundown, you mean?
On the rundown. Afterwards, I was walking me to the elevator and I was telling me, yeah, man, you're the best. And I hear somebody go, I was like, oh yeah, well, it was the best so far, and it was Junior Lee. That's the first day I ever met Junior Lee. This short little gentleman come up to me after my set. This is a true story. Came right up to me and said, that was real good. We're going to be real good friends, I said, okay, thank you. Thank you. And I went. I couldn't get out of it fast enough. I was like, okay, thank you very much. Right, little did I know. Oh my gosh, that man, listen.
Make sure.
Be careful, all be careful.
The man know
when people want to be a friend, say yes, but you never know. But so apparently me and him had really good sets on the rundown.
Right.
And from there, I started to do the open mics, met up with Simi the Trini, Kwame Weeks, Jerome Richardson, Kes Ramsey, a lot of these people. And we just started to work this circuit. Simi was the first. Simi who went on a business venture. Simi started to do this show called Holly and Mike, where we would have weekly comedy shows where it would be a competition. Simi hosting it, and the rest of us comedians would come and we would compete. Funniest person would win, I think it's like $500. I competed 5 times. I won 5 times. And then I gave it a rest. So the rest of them could win. And and then from there, we formed this other group called Laugh on the Ave. And since then, with a little break for COVID, but since then we just had, these seasons of having small shows, and then we'll have like 1 or 2 big shows and just build this family and this community. And from there, we just started to bring in new comedians and nurture them and get them going. And it just became this whole, thing. And people have branched out and gone. And of course, like Junior Lee gone,
Gone.
Trailblazing. And other people have had their own ventures. Like me, I have my own, my own shows that I have called Therapy and Intervention. Simi went on with all her different Corie Sheppard favorite shows that he does go to. And then it have Kes Ramsey, our resident Christian comedian. They're friend of mine. I'm a brother. That's my brother. Huh?
I ain't go that one.
You ain't go that one?
Nah.
You should.
After you go see me show,
you need to go directly to a Kes Ramsey show.
No, the thing
know,
is, right, when Junili was here is a contrast because he was saying that he only does skits to promote his stand-up comedy. When you started doing these skits, like I see some of the early days of your skits, you had stand-up in mind at all as what you wanted to do?
By the time I was doing these skits, not necessarily, no.
No.
No. So for me, I never wanted to do comedy. I initially, so before all of this disability and all that stuff, but back in the day, I wanted to do serious music. I wanted to be a musician and I wanted to be an actor. So I tell myself I'm going to be the next Sidney Poitier. Till I hear Sidney Poitier, I think he tell Oprah or Caribbean people have a sing-songy accent, it's horrible. And he ashamed of it and all this kind of thing. And I was like, wait, boy, and look how I sung him, but I find the next way to go. But yeah, but even, throughout life, comedy was the way I navigated life. It was always how I navigated the world around me. So it always kind of circled back. So, when I was re-entering the world and everything, I kind of lean on comedy and, kind of, life was just kind of guiding you, again, those directions, and I kind of follow it to that. But no, comedy was not always the plan. But making people laugh was. So I remember when I was at my lowest point in my life where I just felt like I was just there, everything was over, and there were all these people around me who were pointing to me. When I kind of gathered myself and realized, okay, I want to give back, I want to be of use, I want to make a contribution to this world. When I was checking, okay, what do I have to offer? I wasn't going to run track and field for Trinidad and Tobago. So what can I do? And I was like, okay, I could make people laugh. I could make people think. I could kind of hopefully educate and entertain. And yeah, so definitely I just didn't know what form it would take. But yeah, and I still think it's something that's evolving because, I don't know what the next chapter will be.
Makes sense. I should have taken a page from you. I forget everybody tell me is the best. We should have talked about the disabilities in the beginning. We should talk about that and get out of the way. This is why you walk on the stage and talk about this. So as well as was transverse myelitis is what you were diagnosed with. So what was it? What was it that made you realize something was wrong? And what age this happened?
Oh gosh, age. But I was in my second year UE.
Okay.
So it's years ago. I was in school. I was with my friends, Whitney and Pookie and Nikolai. Yes, I have a friend called Pookie. So in school, and I was telling them, yo, my legs tingling. And I was kind of ignoring it. Also, I had like this persistent kind of sick feeling for a little while, ignoring that as well. Just going, I was young, you felt invincible. You back then even drinking water, you just going and, just living your life forever. And as the sick feeling kind of stayed for a while, or behind my eyes and thing was hurting. And so I went to the UE Health Center and they were like, you possibly have dengue, but we can't do a test. We don't have any tests to do. So you could probably go and check our health center and get a dengue test. I went to an unnamed health center and the doctor there said, well, you don't have a fever. So we are just going to give you some of these medications for the flu. Because we don't think you have you don't have a fever, so it's not dengue. Was very, very wrong. I say come back, if anything, come back the next week if symptoms persist. But that didn't end up, because, I remember one day in school, I had really bad lower back pain and leave our class in the night, walk out of school, not knowing that's the last time I was walking independently, take my transport, walk up to where I was living. I was so in so much pain, I just lied on in my work clothes, didn't come on my work clothes. And woke up the next morning and everybody had left the house. Nobody felt anything was wrong. Almost everybody had left the house. My brother was there. And I got up and I was just falling, getting up and falling. Couldn't hold up myself. And I'm telling him, in fact, I was in the kitchen and I just get really faint and he had to kind of catch me. But him and all, I don't know if he felt it was exhaustion or just really sick.
Bad flu or bad day.
Yeah, so he didn't take it that seriously as well. So in fact, I realized something was really wrong. I called the ambulance. And the ambulance came for me and he didn't even think nobody was taking it that seriously. I was presenting very fine. So I had to walk into the ambulance and everything. They was like, well, come now, and he was like, yeah, later, Kevin. I hold on to the wall, walking in, so much so that because we were living in Sawa at the time. And by the time we drove from where I was, the first I have money stretcher, taking my vitals or information or whatever. By the time we reached the Quasi, some people flagging them down. Hey, have a drunk man here. Let's take this drunk man now. The ambulance people asked me to get up from the stretcher and sit down, like them holding on, and let the drunk man sit down, lie down anything. Because I was looking fine. Yeah. So went in the hospital, A&E, but I was in the worst pain of my life. I knew something was very, very wrong. I just didn't know what it was, but yeah. It was a long story short. But yeah, even in the whole process getting examines, the doctors wasn't even taking me seriously. They didn't think anything. I don't know if they thought I was inebriated or something, because even
Which
when
hospital did they take you to? Where is this?
well, next thing I say bad things.
No, oh, okay, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
A public hospital.
Okay, Richard.
Because yeah, they wasn't taking me too seriously at that public hospital. And so yeah, I remember the doctor was examining me. I was sitting down on the table, and he just very nonchalant. He was like, okay, well, walk from here today. I was like, well, doc, I can't walk. I fall for long. He said, just try now. I said, doc, I really can't walk. I will fall. He said, try. I get up, think back, drop on the ground.
And he talking about unassisted. He just
laughed.
turned and walk.
Yes, and he laughed. And he went and called another doctor, and like, they laughed. The two of them laughed. I don't know what they were speculating, but they just laughed. And he said, all right, we fix up, go up. And did not help me back up or anything. I helped myself back up and sit down. I don't know what they thought it was. But in any case, it took a while. That was like a Wednesday. By Friday night. So it was paralysis. I was progressing. So it started in my feet, and it was just moving up. My arms became paralyzed. By Friday, I couldn't move anything but my eyes. And then by Friday night, my respiratory system began to be paralyzed. So I could barely breathe, speaking, barely. So that was the night, and I was like, okay, well, that is it. And I already was kind of disenchanted. Like, nobody taking me seriously. I just been observed. This is it for me. I didn't have any really deep thoughts. I was just like, oh God, my mother and them gonna have to fight up and things. Like, I wasn't really thinking about anything grand or amazing, you know. And I was just like, okay, what is it? And it so happened that a nurse came on the ward who had a crush on me.
Oh, nice.
And yes, because since I came in the hospital, she used to come and bring grapes and feed my grapes and Subway and thing, which is normal nurse behavior in the hospital. I believe it's normal thing in this, and I'm not so fair out of their own money. So she was on the ward when I was I was kind of trying to get nurse attention when I realized, okay, things getting really, really bad. I could barely breathe, and you can't move your head or anything. I couldn't even move side to side. I couldn't move, totally paralyzed. So I kind of, nurse was ignoring me. But when she came on the ward, she come straight for me, and she realized something was really wrong. She raised her alarm. The doctors came and everybody went into action. Then, of course, now as patient number one, most important, came down in the ICU, and in the ICU, they had a nurse at the bottom of my bed watch me the entire night, and her job was just to watch me and make sure I breathe. So I was not you're not breathing anymore on your own normally.
So up to
right?
this point, you're on a normal ward, you're not in ICU.
I was on a normal ward, yeah. So her job, this nurse just sat there and she was like, Mr. Soyer, breathe whole night. Wow. Yeah, and threatening that if I stop breathing, she would have to intubate. She'll get the doctors to intubate you. And so yeah, she stood watch whole night, and I did that. I was breathing. As I always say, like that night I had to breathe on purpose. And in so many ways, ever since re-entering the world, this new life, I had to breathe on purpose ever since. You know what I mean? Because nothing was ever the same again. Nothing was ever as natural and organic and whatever, you know? So that is what happened to me. I mean, after that, I was hospitalized still for, like I said, a year and 3 months. I was moved to St. James, the infirmary there.
Oh, things went good because you called the name.
I call any name because I got things to say. This man's smart enough. This man's smart. I could call nurses. I could call nurses like Nurse Latasha, Nurse Lewis, and Nurse Letta, and Nurse Labadia, and Nurse... And I don't call it, because they know what I say, they didn't call my name, Nurse Pascal, everybody. Right? So, yeah, they were amazing. I was on a ward with all these other fellas with paralysis as well. Those were like my brothers. I mean, you're just there, yeah, you know? And...
So how long you stay in ICU, you remember?
In the ICU might have been... I really didn't have a lot of concept at the time.
Of course.
But it wasn't that long, maybe a week or something.
But your family, your brother, your mother, everybody visiting because you're there for a little bit, right? What's their thoughts on...
So they were alerted the night before, I believe, and then, but they came the next day because they told them, they had to do whatever with me. So when they came, so I didn't know how I was looking. I didn't know anything because I'm just eyes floating above the bed. I can't feel any of this, right? And so I didn't know what my situation was, and I didn't feel like it. I don't know about it was, but I remember my big brother and one of my sisters walked in. And when they walked in, my big brother, my big aggressive bad man brother, no, he's not a bad man, very, very clean cut, but big aggressive brother, walk up to the bed, and I look in to see like, I don't know, I smile, hello, whatever. He just look at me, and I was like, oh God, I look bad. Is it for me? He just started to cry. And my sister started to cry too. I was like, well, okay. First of all, very horrible bedside manner. Because you're making the patient have very little confidence right now. This is not needed. But yes, sobbing. And I realized, okay, at that point it wasn't looking good. So yeah, they came and they checked me in the ICU. My mom, of course, came and took care of her son. And I had co-workers who would come, my dear friend Chantal, Miss Lal from work. And they came and, they were, So my grandparents, relatives and stuff. So yeah, they came and they would check me and move from there to the HDU, high dependency unit, where, I had to go through. At that point in time, I mean, I still wasn't able to move really. So like they would come,
for them to move you
rub you down, whatever, put the earphones in your ears and leave. If them earphones fall out, whether is it? Because I can't pay back. So I had a whole lot of music and take it in while it lasts. Because once that fall out, they can't move.
Listen, I'll tell you a random story. If my sister ain't like this, I'll take it out, right? But I have a little sister who got in an accident and she's still learning to walk now, right? And when you talk about headphones, it's so real because when you talk about even ICU and that step down to HDU, we elated that happened because every day you go in ICU, you just don't know. I that bigger brother in that space. I go in trying to be positive, but rough. She's 20-something years younger than me. She's a child to me.
Right.
So my brother, who salute to him, he take care of her completely. He just own it, right? And we used to go to the iPad now because now she wanted, so we go on the iPad and we put the headphones in, right? My brother bilingual,
right?
So he iPad
in
Spanish.
Oh my gosh, no!
So he had Netflix in Spanish, right? And she was intubated.
Okay.
So she couldn't say this thing in Spanish. So we playing the thing in the, and we're trying to do the. Boy, listen, it take about a week to figure out what wrong. Because she's trying to tell us something wrong. And every day we glad to put it.
No.
So the girl favorite shows she taking in Spanish for the whole time.
Because you finding humor in the tragic moments as well.
Because of you. I obviously you. But yeah, I guess you said it in the beginning that is about, you use your trauma. I wonder if there's somebody said the other day, something I latch onto this, comedy is trauma plus time or something to that effect. I'm wondering if in moments like those, because you sound like you in that moment trying to piece it together and putting them things, how serious it is for you then?
I'm not very formulaic in the way I do comedy. There are people who are like Kwame Weeks. I think they have a formula. Sure. It's very intuitive for me. I think maybe if I dissect it, I might find that there's some way that but it's very intuitive for me. So it's not that intentional per se. It's more feeling and flow of consciousness and
so if you feel it, you will say it, or is there?
No, and that's why I am not the best person for crowd work. Yes, watchmen like Junior Lee and Taddy Boom and Kes Ramsey, they are very good at crowd work. They could have no material, walk out to the audience and talk to them for 45 minutes or whatever. I am not that, and you don't want that. Because I will say something to hurt somebody's feelings. I don't know why. It will just, I don't know. Like, I am not, so I can, talk to, but it is... yes, I don't trust myself because I like, as I say, I like that control. I like to be prepared. I'm not that free, and I would like to be that. Because I admire people like that.
Serious?
Yeah, that's what I love about like people like Taddy Boom and Junior Lee. Like I feel like, and I could be wrong, and maybe it's a lot of we have a little bit of imposter syndrome sometimes, and maybe I need to just come into myself more. But I look at them and I think like they are the product. So Junior Lee, Taddy Boom, they are the product. They could, just them being there, that is it. That is it. His presence, how they carry themselves, how they look, that is the entertaining thing. For me, I feel like my work is a product. So I am pretty just regular in my opinion, and then I could produce something that is entertaining. That's why I kind of feel.
Yeah, it explains a lot to me. That's why it feel like a set.
Yeah.
Like put together.
Lots of jokes. Yes, I'm definitely a preparer. And I think when you prepare, or when you put in a certain type of work, the result a lot of times will mirror that.
Gotcha.
So there are a lot of people who wing it, and they get wing it results. I'm somebody who I think I put in a kind of ridiculous amount of preparation.
Yeah.
But it is because I don't want to be embarrassed, and I don't want to be misrepresented. I think that's the thing about me. And I think there are some people who, they're comfortable winging it and they're comfortable trying a thing, and nothing wrong with that as well. And some people
Yeah,
need
some
to do
people
it
do
in
that
the moment.
great. Some people do that.
exactly.
I'm not one. I'm
Exactly.
not one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely a preparer. I'm not somebody who has a formula, but I'm somebody who would think and observe and make sure I have, my internal notes and whatever going, so that I don't show up without an arsenal of something.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's
Find a way to bring up Arsenal. Man. Look for the Arsenal fans and thing. Yeah, that for?
Yes, sir.
Right, give me just one more on wheels up, right?
Yes. You didn't ask the correct.
So you're at that point where, for instance, I guess from my experience as a big brother, I see that, right? And you're talking about your eyes alone working for a point in time. As you start set down, you're starting to regain feeling.
Yeah. So very funny podcast anyway.
Comedians tend to be this way.
Hilarious. Oh, people home. Oh God, my belly. Okay, sorry. No, listen. so it was a whole process of having to pick up spoon, and they give you like the fruiter bottle to try to lift it up and see if you can move it for a little while, and brush your teeth and move your hands. So I had to relearn all those things. All of these things took time. It was quite a process. We have a tendency a lot of times when we go through something, in hindsight, we could kind of be a little bit dismissive about stuff, flippant about it. I'm very guilty of that. But in the moment, it wasn't like that. It was like you counted every second of every day, waiting for like, okay, when is tomorrow? When is the next day? Because you just want to get better and you want to get out. But you forget that.
Yeah, of
you forget,
course.
and then you just summarize it. Yeah, this how this bad thing happened to me, but I got no, all right. You know, Trini says, yeah. But no, it was. So yeah, it was a lot of rehabilitation, at least as far as they could offer you, and a lot of it is just yourself, your own will, and you're pushing forward on your own. But yeah, so that was the whole process, and so yes, you get feeling and sensation back. I have feeling and sensation back almost totally, but diminished in some parts because it was a progressive thing. So like the legs and stuff definitely was the longest in that state, and so like there's more numbness because of that. But yeah, I mean I got a lot of progress from where I was to where I am now. So I mean that's very good.
Yeah, from what I read about it, they said that nobody knows why it comes about.
Exactly.
And they said it could be progressive. So there's something I was encouraged when I heard you talk about it, and you say that for you start back again feeling, you start back again strength and so on, but it is not the case for everybody.
It's not the case for everybody. Yeah, I think a third of the people don't experience any, and then a third of the people recover almost immediately, like in the first 30 days, and I mean like the partial recovery.
And recovery will be back to normal.
I think so. I think so. Or they might have some small deficits,
right?
But I don't think. Yeah, so I'm definitely in the partial.
Got you.
Set.
Got you.
Yeah.
What you studying in UWI?
Communications. So I was a communications major and theater minor. Because I mean, I guess I'm gonna let you do your job and do the interview. But but in UWI, I did pursue the theater minor, and so when I got sick, I had already started it. I was away from school for some years, maybe like 2 years. Came back in a wheelchair, fully in a wheelchair, and I have a theater minor to do, And I had already left the hospital with this mindset of I want to make a contribution. I want to be of use. I want to use my talents. I'm going back and pursue this. But I wasn't giving anybody a chance to tell me no. Wasn't giving anybody a chance to tell me all the reason why it wouldn't work. Because you could imagine it's a physical thing. It's a physical space and, that kind of thing. And so I didn't seek any academic advising. I did not ask anybody permission. I registered for my courses and I showed up at the CFA, which is the Department for Carnival and Festival Arts. Under Mr. Louis McWilliams, Mr. Murray, yeah. So I think my first class was with Louis McWilliams, who is an amazing gentleman who I just had the honor. A lot of us had the honor in the arts of learning from. And so I showed up to his class. I said, "Sir, I come to take." He said, "Yeah, I saw that, And so the first class, they had to steps to go in the class in a dance studio, and I'm in a wheelchair. So that was mainly first class. Come back the next week, they put a wooden ramp so I could get in, And then when eventually we finished that course and we go to another course, and the other course was in the black box. That helped me in the black box. But then eventually they came and I put a concrete permanent ramp on the black box. And I'm so grateful for people like that, for Mr. Louis McWilliams. So, the communication side, yes, I did that. That was great. But that DCFA side, that creative community really, really helped me. I think that has a lot to do and kind of catapulted me into being able to see what I'm doing now as viable and see myself as still having something to offer in this space because of that. Because when I was in that class sitting down there, I remember Louis McWilliams, one of the things we had to do was a production at the end of the semester. And while everybody's getting roles, I was expecting stage management or helping with something in the background, which is feasible in my mind. And he made it very clear, you are not doing anything in the background. You're front and center performing. I didn't know how I was going to make this happen. But I was like, okay, I'm going to fight with Louis.
Yes.
And they built a script. They made a musical, a soca musical. And yeah, I had a starring role in it. I was uncle. Well, uncle in the wheelchair, uncle of a parlor. And so I was able to navigate the campus, to go to my classes, the ramp. And when it came time to build the set on stage at LRC, Uncle had a parlor on stage and Uncle Parlor was raised. So that all the action happening, but Uncle Parlor was raised. And Uncle have a ramp to roll on for me parlor onto the thing. And to get tied up, Uncle had musical numbers. Uncle sing a sparrow and a shadow. I sing Dingole. I sing both of them. Full choreography and dancers and thing. Uncle was proper perform, like fully included, fully integrated. It was a really amazing experience that I would never forget what, Louis and just everybody who was involved in that process did. And it was amazing even from that performance. And people thought that I was a regular actor who could just really maneuver a wheelchair.
I see.
That's like, you real good. Oh, you do that wheelchair, boy. That was real good, boy. It's like, I have not acted in that part, But they thought it was, And from there, somebody thought I was doing that so well. They booked me for my first outside of school, gig, getting to do Sapa and Napa in a big musical and thing. Was it good? That's not the point. But we did it. We did the shows. And it was that was all right. So I had to get a little spiel because I wanted to pay homage to that speech.
So when you're going through this process, there's a lot of things that people talk about fears. Like David said, he had a fear of not being able to itch or scratches, which is a fear nothing to do with that, nothing to do with the price of rice. That's him every day. But I wanted to know, like, going back into theater, because I would assume from my experience in UE, communication classes is in regular classrooms,
yes,
right?
Correct.
So LRC, I know LRC, and I don't know that it is easily accessible by anybody who have any kind of disability. At least in my time.
No.
Can I remember right? You had to go upstairs and come down in the theater. Is there a way theater?
So they have an elevator there.
What do they do?
Which is, kind of old-timey elevator that have to be operated by, but I still go to the auditorium.
I mean, operated by what?
No. So it's almost feel like that, somebody you have to go in, they shut in with this gate thing and anything, and then somebody else that have to, like, they send you, and then somebody had to release you up there. It's a whole thing, but that's to be an audience member.
Right. I see.
Oh, okay. So, but to be to backstage, no, there isn't a ramp to. No, wait. Yes.
What they do?
Yes, they have a ramp to the backstage. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I think, yeah. And so accessibility wasn't the only issue. Is okay. I say so. Yeah, for LRC, the only issue is if you want to go from backstage to on stage. But it could go from backstage to the audience, and it could go from outside to backstage and from outside to the audience. There are ramps that facilitate that, but there wasn't one that went from backstage to the on stage.
Gotcha.
So for that, I mean, students, I remember this one student, Mr. Dwayne White, who would actually carry me on his back from downstairs. And I don't like lift up at all. I tell you, as a control freak, I don't like, but I had to for the purpose of uncle have to go and sing the dingole.
Of course.
Get my jockey back up. Or what I would do most times is just take my time. Once I have that time to, because uncle had to do all the old man thing and whatever. So once I have enough time, I'll just take my time and go up bit by bit and whatever. But accessibility is a big issue when it comes to spaces. We do have some accessible spaces, but we have others that are really not. And that's something I definitely have to face and overcome. When one thing is so I think what happens is when you go into a space and they take up space and they're present there, people would see you and they kind of, because you're there now, they're able to realize, okay, these are the shortcomings of this space. if there's nobody like me there, then it's not an issue. Nobody cares, you know? So
Well, I guess you say like in the building of the ramps, because I suppose if it
Yes.
never came up.
it might have, and I'm very certain. I think at least one student after me would have had a disability, although it might have been after the. No, yeah, she might have been there, and so she would have utilized the ramps as well. So you see, it worked for
course,
somebody.
of course.
But yeah, there are spaces. I mean, I have had to do the whole thing. I have dragged myself all over this country in all kind of spaces.
Yeah,
Because
you
we're
ain't talking about just theater and thing alone. You're talking about anything you have to do in
any
life.
kind of space. There's a regular, a building, a bar, a club, a casino, anyway. I mean, we've done it all, and there have been times we have to, like, in front of the audience, go up, sit down on the stage, then pivot myself onto the stage, then go up on a chair, pull myself up on the chair, and then from the chair go up on a whole thing. I mean, I wouldn't do that right now. We kind of work out some more logistics, but I've done, because to me it's just about how to make it happen. After I get to the point where I can start my performance, right? So I just had to do whatever. I have these limitations that the other comedians don't have, and I just need to manage them.
But I wonder about that sometimes, because I had a guy here, Glenn Niles, right? He
Right.
advocates for, Glenn?
Yeah.
So-
Down Syndrome Family Network.
Right. And he spoke about his advocacy for people with disabilities as a whole.
Yes.
And he was talking about the fact that we don't build with those things in mind.
no.
And one of the things that stood out to me was that, and you've experienced this as well, you just feel your life going to be the same way that it is.
You don't think it applies to you? Yeah.
No, it don't apply.
Yeah.
So you run up some steps, you think it's until you realize like you're sick or something happened, even if it might be temporary,
Yeah.
you start to realize what it is in these spaces. So that's
how
the
we are.
reality you facing at that point in time.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not something I faced, it's something I'm facing, it's not something that happened, it's happening, it's all the time. It's because I'm affected by that, in my everyday life as well. But Trinis, I find that Trinis are people who care, so they will see you and, try to assist or, be concerned, but we're not very proactive. We're not anticipating, okay, this is a need that this space, or a deficit here, or like,
Sure.
so it's a lot of times they met with empathy more than empowerment, and assistance more than accessibility, right? So it's not so much about making a space where we are able to navigate and experience a certain quality of life. It's more like, oh God, a real bad boy. Like, I go walk with you, I go help you, and that kind of thing, which is not necessarily
Yeah, not ideal.
you overestimate the power of your company. These are still 50 stairs, It not you not helping me all by take your time, take your time, take your time.
Moral support.
Yeah. Take your time, take your time, take your time, take your time, take your time. Sir, this is not helping.
We feel it helping. We feel it helping.
You helping, you're doing the best as a MTS security, but I want an elevator,
Yeah,
But
of course,
yeah,
of
no.
course. Yeah, I wonder
But-
sometimes when I hear Glenn talk, if we taking the right steps because I mean, what built. But I wonder what new construction, UE is a whole different place than when I went UE in 2000, early 2000 kind of thing. And I wonder now that they have all these new buildings and things, if there's the effort taken into consideration that all of us are not the same.
I hope they are. I mean, they facilitate. So for me, when I was in UE, there is a department that deals with, we could go there if we have any issues. But I think the only thing I really kind of benefited from, and I liked it, was we could have separate exam rooms. So yes, I had my private exam room. I love that. I don't test well. I don't like so empty room to myself, the invigilator, I'm happy with that. But to say like, everywhere was accessible, not necessarily. I kind of had to navigate some spaces, but I'm sure there have been advancements, and I'm sure they are aware. I know there are great people there who are aware of the needs, and I'm sure they're working towards it. But on a whole, Trinidad has a lot to be desired when it
some
comes to
gaps.
accessibility,
Some
for
gaps.
sure.
So that's the physical part. I'm going to talk about the mental part for a little bit now, because when you're going to UE initially, you're going in good. No sign of anything wrong or anything going to happen, right? Communications with theatre, your goal for life in terms of where you want to be is what?
I still all that time wanted to do music and acting. And I always was somebody who was very practical. So, I mean, to a point. So it was like, okay, I'll do this degree because if I need something to fall back on, I have this. But I really want to pursue my dreams. One thing I miss, and I'm getting it back little bit by little bit, I think I'm regaining it. But ever since I was very young, I had an unreasonable, ridiculous ambition. It was I kind of like a delusion, I would say. But I think that's good. I think we need that
100%.
delusion. We need to dream big. You know, I never had any doubt as a child that I could achieve my dreams. For some reason, growing up in you know a lot of depravity, in a very impoverished situation, I still felt like, no, this was temporary. I go and reach where I go. You know what I mean? And I think the only time that really changed for me is when I had a disability. Then the ceiling started to get lower. I just want to get better. I just want to be independent. I just want to not be a burden, and I go just, you know, manage. And it took a lot to start to move that goalpost back where it was. And it didn't back where it was, but a little bit by little bit. Because yeah, for me, for somebody like me, the way I create, the way my mind works, that kind of practical thing don't really work. So I kind of aspire to get back to that delusional space where everything is attainable. And why not?
Right.
Why can I not do all these things? You know what I mean? So yeah. So mentally for me, it was a journey. I am not in a place where I'm comfortable to say like I could be anybody life coach or tell them how to navigate
Sure.
situations like that, because yeah, I don't know that I've done everything the best. I've managed. I'm here, but a lot of it I think was just innate kind of tools I had. You know, the way in which I navigated the world benefited me, and things that it was instilled in me, what I just had, aided me. But I don't know if I know like the formula to like, okay, how you stay positive, how you manage, how you this, how you that, you know? I don't know. For me, it came from being of use. Like I was, if I'm gonna do this staying alive thing, I want to be of use. I want to make a positive. I want to make people happy. I want to do it. You know, that's where it came from for me, and that kind of motivated me. That, as well as, because I always say, cannot be prepared for something that, like what happened to me. It couldn't be prepared, but I was equipped because I already born into this support system, this family that, you know, like I have, you know, my mom, who was my first inspiration actually for wanting to be a performer. My brother, you know, my siblings, they're great. And again, my grandparents, and I will always circle back to them because they really, really poured into me. But them being there, they were always at my side telling me, you're getting up from here, you know, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do every single thing. They believe that I could take over the world. They believe that there's nothing out of reach for me, and still believe it right now. And with that kind of backing, with that kind of confidence they have in you, I just felt like, yeah, that just set me up to, you know, really push forward.
Makes sense. I hear you talk about them. I hear you talk about your grandparents, and the way you talk about your mom is interesting. And you know, Kevin, when you say you're ceiling high, you call it delusion, right? It's almost what I hear when you say where you went through that whole process of a year and something to just learn to be again, you know? And you going back into theater, that's a kind of audacity, you know. Most people, like myself, I don't have my ceiling so high, you know, I would adjust real fast. I'm looking for different types of jobs or different career paths. So I think even though you're saying the ceiling getting lower, I suppose mentally some of that's still just in you.
Yeah. After it was, because that was a whole life. Like when I was in the hospital there, like initially I went in there with life is over, life is done, this is it. Because I couldn't fathom that somebody could be in this situation and do anything. For me, it was done. And it was a mindset that was shared across the world as well. I have other friends who when I started to get into a better mental place, they weren't. And I had to go and shake their bed. Say, come on the bed now, bro. Let me go. Let me move outside. Nah, he's staying in there. You know, who emotional, who upset, who give up. There are people who literally give up and then give up.
Of course.
I remember I used to go in the physiotherapy room and have these pictures on the wall and the stretching and I say, hey, who's the picture on? Who was that picture on? Who was that fella there? Oh, that so and so. He dead. So, But the fella the next picture there, he dead too. Everybody say, I stop ask everybody. But the next one, he dead. I said, okay, all right. So I see what this is going. So you know, you had to.
Yeah, of course.
I tell my friends, nah, boy, let me move, let me think, you know.
Yeah, people underestimate that like a hospital is a support system in itself. Is its own
and the
world.
nurses, they were. I mean, I was entertainment for them as well, and the best patient they have ever had in their entire lives.
I could imagine.
You know, I had this nurse. Even when I was at I could be sour, I could be a little hard-headed. So when I really told myself it done. I just did, you know.
Right, yeah.
Or like the times when I'm very depressed, so I thinking, okay, life over. And this nurse, Latasha, would come in the morning, and she come up to the bed. Soyer, how you feeling? Feel fine? Fear to fine, I feel, you know. Say I feel fine, whatever. And if she see me like, you know, looking like thing or so, I'll be like, listen, you have life, you know. You have this, and she'll just go on like, you know, building you up and telling you all these things. And it's just like, yeah, that having somebody like there to like pour that into you, like I was very fortunate. So I feel very fortunate for the people that was around me, Dr. Bovell, all these different people. I call their names and people say I forget their name. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So by the time I was on that ward doing that and feeling of use there, like, you know, whether it was just, you know, being the most active patient because in the real world, I was the one who dependent or though fit, you know, whatever, but on the ward, I was the active one, the one moving around, helping other patients and that kind of thing. So by the time I left there, my mindset was like, yeah, okay, I have something to offer. I can go. And I have like recordings that I used to be telling, you know, talking to myself and telling myself like, yeah, when I get here, all I want to do is entertain people. I want to make people laugh. I want to do this. I want to do that. And so, yeah, by the time I was to go back to school, I already knew that that's what I wanted to try to, I wanted to pursue. So the audacity, yes, it was there. I mean, I still have the feeling, I mean, because I have friends who don't even like to be seen. They don't want to be outside. They don't want people, you know, they're afraid of these stairs. Stairs and these stairs. And so for me, I had to go and face both. And so, yeah, there was that, I don't know what does take over. Like, I feel like if we all capable of more than we think. Because, I mean, I was aware rolling through UE and people watching me passing and I'm a kind of spectacle and I'm there. But at the same time, I was there on a mission and know what I wanted to do and know what I was trying to achieve. So it was not a deterrent. It was a big adjustment. I was somebody who was very independent, very quick, always very fast, always very helpful. And then I was this kind of whole other person and people see you in a different way. So it was a big change. But mentally, I felt like, I had the fortitude at the time I did. And thankfully, I entered a space like the CFA where they nurtured that. And then thankfully, I found other, you know, spaces and people since then who have also nurtured that. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some of the original days of nurturing now. What area you grew up? Like in Nardong, this hospital and where this was now. What area
yes,
you from?
So that is the thing. People say where you're from. So I always claim Hardin Place, Corie.
Oh,
that's in the US. Yes. That is where I claim now. I spent some of my childhood there. And I didn't spend my life there. I spent a part of my childhood there. But I think that is the place I would say that I'm from, because since then we move all over the place. My mother, with her 5 kids, we move everywhere. And that's because, I don't know if a lot of you all know this. A lot of people might know, but landlords just want the money. I don't know if you know that. And when they don't give them it, they tell you to leave. So, like, she didn't know that. So we had to move plenty. So it's all over the place we move.
Right.
People keep coming. Where your mother? I'm like, you back again? She gave you last month. What's your problem?
Yeah,
Get a job. No, we didn't understand it. No, he right. So yeah, we moved plenty, but Hardin Place, Corie. I went to Corie Government Primary School there, and in there is where, well, first of all, so in that community, we had a very strong family identity, community identity. My grandfather is Mr. Corporal, Hollis Soyer. Everybody know Mr. Corporal.
Right.
Everybody love Mr. Corporal. He is the man in the community. He's the one you turn into to complain. He's the one that the woman in the road waiting to hear. Oh, darling, sweetheart, you know, whatever. My grandmother more stoic, more reserved, but still very, very respected. And because of who they were in that community, we already had, we were just known. We were known as young corporal. All of us was young corporal. Corporal Arabi, young corporal. Till, you know, I leave here. Right? A lot of pride in that. And so in schools, I had an Uncle Nigel Soyer, who was a gospel singer. Right? And if anybody knows, I am here to be. Anyway, he's not a Christian. Right? So anyway, you need church. All right. So in Corie Government Primary School, teachers like Miss Driggs and Mr. Clark and Mr. Forbes and Miss Steven, Miss Avale, all of them, they would pull me out, single me out to do things, you know, whether it's singing calypso or poems or playing recorder or whatever, like they'll put me to do things. I guess I had those, you know, the aptitude from that, they recognized it. And so that's the first, I would do like, I used to do a poem about mud, I do a poem about my daddy, and my daddy do this, and my daddy do this, and I used to do this poem so well. They put me to do this poem all over the place so well. that everybody in the school used to call me my daddy. The cleaner, Miss Roach, called me my daddy. Everybody called me my daddy. And I didn't even have one. So, first it was good. First I was convincing. I talent from me young. And so that is where the bug would kind of bite me. But kind of simultaneously or a little bit before that, my mom worked in treasury for many years. And, you know, you have the treasury singers and you have this and that and whatever. So she would always show her talents in work. And, well, mostly in church because my mother is the national Christian of Trinidad and Tobago and she's do everything for the honor and glory of God.
She knows talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anna Soyer, please, come on, man. So my mother, the first time I ever wanted to perform, I remember they had a concert and my mother used to dance in church and they asked her to dance for the concert. So it was in the Central Bank Auditorium. Somebody had me in the back lifting me up watching my mother. I can't remember who it was, but they had me lifting me up. So mommy comes on stage and she white and she dancing. You know, kind of church dance kind of thing, right? So they have her dancing. Where she dancing and she in the middle of the dancing, she was dancing to a Helen Baylor song. I think it was More Than a Friend of one of them songs. And the music stopped. In the middle of her dance, the music just stopped. So he plays like, what's going to happen now? And my mother didn't stop. She didn't miss a beat. She did nothing. She just kept dancing and she sang the rest of the song and danced. So she sang and danced the rest of the song. And she was in the papers the next day, a full spread about it. And I was like, and people was applauding. People also standing ovation. People was like, oh my God, you're so amazing. You sing this song and dance it. I was watching my mother, oh my gosh. I just remember the proud moment of watching her on stage, you know, singing and dancing. Ram Ram by Lady Shabba. It wasn't that song. But it was at that moment I was like, whatever mommy doing there, I want to do that. I want to make the people happy in this space, you know. So in primary school I put me in it, I was doing it then and that's how I kinda, you know, and I think having an uncle who everybody used to be like, oh, uncle Nigel Soyer is your uncle. I used to think, okay, well, music is something. He did it, I could do it too.
Right.
So I would write songs from ever since I was small about whatever, because I think he made it seem, again, like how Kivo, you know, they make it seem like it's attainable, it's something that can happen for you, something you could aim for. So that is where the arts, I think, started for me.
As early as that?
Yeah.
And I guess it's them responses. You want to see, make people happy, make
I
people
wanted, and that was the role I would play in the family. Like, I am the person who try to lighten the mood and, you know, at least for my family, be the clown and the joker and the whatever and the sarcasm and the this and the that. I get that from my grandmother too. My grandmother is that for sure. She's very, very funny, very, very witty, very, very smart.
Yeah.
And so whenever we have a family gathering, people know Kevin going and say, but I still never, like my mother would be like, you could be a comedian and thing. I never.
But she used to tell you that then?
I feel she said it when I was a bit older, but she said she said it ever since. So she went, okay, no problem.
They always win. They always win.
Yeah. So they would tell me that, you know, a funny
So from
answer.
boys' school, you're comfortable and you was never nervous then, like small? You used to be nervous to go up?
I cannot remember being very nervous. I can't remember being very nervous.
Yeah,
I
then
think,
you probably wasn't.
Yeah, I think just the confidence of like those teachers and thing. And those teachers who come to see me in comedy shows and things since and asking me, you remember me? You mad? What? Of course I remember you. Teachers need to remember that, I mean, they probably, you know, they deal with all these students who they come to the school, okay, whatever, but you play such a integral role in our lives. Like, we don't forget you the same, same
like
way.
So you forget us.
Yes, I remember very much all those people. So yeah, they gave me that, definitely that. And I was like, I was very well utilized and supported. And I mean, I was the valedictorian in primary school and things. So like, I was. Yeah, so I think all that added to me knowing that, okay, I could pursue these things, I could do these things. I had that ambition that I was going to.
So valedictorian mean you're passing for your first choice something, or you went secondary school?
No.
It just mean you could give speeches.
Listen to me. I did not pass for my first choice, and everybody told me I was going to pass for my first choice. That's why I kind of hear the pressure we put on these kids
100%.
when it comes to these exams. But I was built up that I was so he's smart and he this and he this and he that. He gonna pass for. I wanted to pass for QRC and nobody can tell me I was gonna pass for QRC. And they used to call out the results. I don't know if they
used to do that in my day too on the PA system. Yeah.
So I sit down there and I waiting and they call out Diego Martin Government Secondary. I say, oh God. I go dead. I started crying. I cried. I could not believe. I could not believe that they are sending me. They might as well ball out Emperor Valley Government Secondary. Oh my God. They're sending me YTC. Oh God, what I do? Not knowing. I didn't know anything about this school. I didn't know anything. Let's say secondary. Because I thought that, I just have to go curiosity. That means, I that mean I smart. That mean I did it right. That's mean and I used to be, nobody motivated me to study. Nobody helped me. I didn't come from a household like that where I could have that, where I had that to motivate myself.
Sure.
So I really thought I'd done everything right and I did, tick all the boxes. So yeah, but no, do not buy into that. Every school has something to offer.
Yeah, because
it's about your mentality. It's a good school, it's a great
big
school. Big up to everybody who I went to Degosec with. And, But the mindset at the point in time, I was like, yeah, boy. Live over, boy. But yeah, I just deal with disappointments. You know what I mean?
That's what it is. I think
that's
you're right.
That's how it is.
He's 11 years old. We forget that sometimes. And I find to achieve anything, for me, I'd be single-minded about the thing.
Yeah.
So when I say I want to pass for QRC,
I
can't think about nothing else.
So you know, back up and think about second choice. I go in and get this.
100%. So you're doing art something in Degosec, where you're doing calypso competition, you're going through all them kind of things.
I was reading. I didn't go. I think I should have go. I should have had a more outgoing personality in school, but it was a big difference. Like I already felt like if this was where I wanted to be, so I went in with that. And then I don't think it had necessarily the mechanisms. I don't think they had those things in place just yet. But yeah, I kind of kept my head down, was quiet. In fact, I remember when I was, oh God, he will hear that. So I wouldn't say the teacher name. I remember one of the last days before I leave in school, one of the teachers was like, Kevin Soyer, nobody gonna remember you.
Say that to him.
But not in a bad way. He's like,
was it good?
I don't know. But he was wrong. He was wrong. People always shout him out and everything. They remember me. But yeah, definitely I was more church oriented for those years. Because my mother gave us a huge church was everything. My mother just embedded us in church. I think parents offer you what they have to offer. And my mother had church to offer. So if you had different arms of a body, our church arm was very, very strong. And every other arm was finny. The social and thing. But the church, we know about church, So in those years, I was looking and emulating and wanted to be like, I wanted the approval of, the church people and the authority there and whatever. I think for those couple of years. So I think in church I did do some performing
so you're still
a little bit,
church.
a little bit there. And then once I was out there, I mean I was like, I started to get into music and trying to do music on my own and stuff like that from there. And but not in school, not in secondary school.
Understood.
Yeah.
Random question, but Degosec, they have a thing where I went Fatima and repeat everything. I couldn't get into A-levels. And I went Tranquil for A-levels. Tranquil thankfully accept me. And I always remember when I went to Tranquil, I had that feeling you're talking about. I was way too old to think like that, right? But I had that same feeling as you had all this going for your pass for your first choice.
Right.
You play, you repeat, you play. I was on myself a lot.
Yeah.
And my father told me, listen, go in Tranquil every day till they accept you. It was dreaded.
Okay.
Every single day I went and they eventually did.
Okay.
But I remember my mindset changed when I saw a mural on the wall. And I saw two people, Russell Latopy and Pat Bishop. When I saw that they went Tranquil, I said, nah, boy. That was the first time I thought there was a world outside of Fatima where schooling is concerned.
Yeah.
Degosec have something like that tells people who went there before and stuff, because Degosec have a legacy that needs to be studied.
Yes, they have a lot of people who came from there. I don't recall a mural.
Yeah. Or at least a Hall of Fame. I feel like schools need to do more of that. You need to be
They
honest.
might have had. I might have just been going to class and going home. I don't want to speak out of turn. So they could
We
comment
must
down
find
below.
out, David.
Chat.
Yeah,
Put in the
we
chat.
must-
Put in the chat.
We need to do that more. I feel all
for
schools
sure.
need to do that. I don't know if it's a national program or something.
And bringing
because
people into the school. Yeah. I don't think.
you must know the legacy of the institution you're going into. Man.
People and they would have brought people to school. I'm not sure if they were alum, but I think we would have seen people come to school. But I think those things are very, very necessary.
100%.
And I love when I got to do being in a part of the 40 under 40 with the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. We got to go to schools.
Nice.
And I think it's really impactful, to see somebody get to ask them questions, see what you could aim for and that kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, change your mindset. They see you all as
Yeah, that would be
stars.
encouraging. Yeah, for sure.
100%. The way they look up to you all is interesting. They ever call you back in Dago Sec like to talk to them?
Yeah, I went back
okay,
to talk.
good. How's that?
Good. And any school I go to, I'm always amazed because I know there's a feeling people always perpetuate, the youths and them, the wild and the aggressive and the this and the that. But I always encounter very curious, concerned, ambitious, interesting students. So it was no different. They had, questions. They had, they asked me, and they seem, genuinely kind and nice and stuff like that. So it's more they don't just throw the security in the garbage and them kind of thing. They
that's
also
just in the papers.
That's just in the papers. Propaganda.
Yeah, think about it. We celebrate life. Like if you make the front page of the papers, right?
Yeah.
You will celebrate that for the rest of your life.
Right, yeah.
So making the front pages are outliers. So anything you see
Right.
on that front page,
Right.
that is not the true
That's
story.
true, that's
really.
true, that's true, that's
It's
true,
not
that's
happening.
true.
So you're doing
Yeah.
good in Dago Sec, you're doing good in school. You say you're reading your grades and things. That's what.
Yeah, fine. It was fine.
Good
It
enough.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the. I don't think I was the smartest student,
Right.
but gave my passes and I went on. It
really.
was that kind of way.
And subjects, you didn't get to do anything that was related to theatre or drama or anything that you wanted to.
No.
It's
no,
just
no.
maths, English kind of.
Yeah, it was just like my subjects wasn't even. I don't even think it was geared towards anything. It was just very generic that I could go on to study something else or whatever. Because I think again I was just doing all these things as a kind of like a backup. Because I still wanted, I had this dream. I was going to do music and
Yes.
acting and whatever. So that is, and I still want to honor those. I think like we never know where life will take us, and so I still want to honor those dreams as
I feel like you're on it, yeah. You're on the journey.
yeah,
Well, I
on the
suppose
journey.
you know
That's
where-
yeah,
got you.
exactly.
So from Dago Sec, you went on a plan and go UWI one time and you started working and where did when you leave
Nah, I definitely had a little bouncing around. I did working, I did other studies, then I landed in the UE. I was always, so my environment and what was available to me, like I had to work. So since I was 16 years old, I was working. I've not been working ever since, except the time I was in the hospital.
Of course.
I've always taken care of myself since that age. So like there wasn't anything about not working. So there was the intermissions of working, studying, and then doing the tool and that kind of thing. So I did that until I reached into university. I was still working when I was in
So you
university.
was part-time and you're working?
I was sure part-time, yeah, sure. They call it that. They call it that now.
That mean was full-time.
I was working the system. But I was mad, But essentially. But doing both and so I went on to get my degree there and still
And
working
so at
on
this point, when we start seeing you in the skits and things, the early days was Pinky and them kind of skits we see. What part of life is then? That's before UE or that's school days? When you start becoming public?
Yeah, nah, that was after I would have well, that was that was right after. That was. I think I might have had like some stuff to finish in school.
Right.
So maybe it's right before I finished school. But I started to do those skits kind of accidentally. I did one skit where I just wanted to. Because people would be like, Kevin, you make a good dad. You make a great dad. You should be. And I'd be like, what if the child run up somewhere and do so, how I getting them down? What can I no, and what I could do? Come and get me. How? So I was like, that's not feasible. And so I said, let me put that in a skit,
Right.
And make a little skit with this child using this filter. Come down, and put it online thinking this one or two of my friends would see it and that'll be it. It went all over the place and people was like, so here what now? This is what you do now. This is who you are. This is your whole identity. This is it. And so, as silly as it is, that got its own whole niche community. I find it very niche. People say, a lot of people always say they know it and that kind of thing. But for me, it was like, I thought it was pretty niche. But there are people who were really invested in it. People built friendships off of it. People built the office dynamics off of it. Who in the office is Pinky? Who is Shillings? Who's this one? Who's that one? And the comments, I think that was the whole thing. Like seeing that at that point in time, that was the most immediate validation of like, okay, I post something and then the comments and people invested in the story and they're living in this world and this is so real to them. Much like how they do it now with champion is this and this one is that and whoever, they believe in these characters. So, that was a journey in itself. But people have never let go of that.
Right.
I don't know if I'll ever be as popular as those characters because I would be anywhere
hundreds
and
of thousands of views is not niche, no?
people are not letting people anywhere, so when they're bringing them back, they are not there. They love it. And I'm grateful for it as well, because all that time that is also added to me thinking like, okay, yes, I have something to offer.
Right.
I can make people happy. I can make people laugh. So I loved it for that. For me, it was a chapter.
Right.
People don't find so.
Chapter closed.
People don't find so. Them and find so at all.
They
People
don't.
find that, bring that back, because people come and see me live. I'm like, this was real good,
But
So when they bring back me, I'm like, oh my God. What?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it just goes to show like how invested it speaks to it, But for me, I just felt like I had done it. I had done that, and I felt, but I understand that is not the perception of a lot of people. People are like, if the I can just keep going, keep whatever. And I know there are other contemporaries who have never stopped. And they will do it right down. And I find that's amazing and commendable. And because of that, they get certain things and they deserve all of those things. And I don't have those things, and that's why I don't have it. But I just I just felt like, I just felt like, I think it's Marie Kondo who's supposed to be, if you had to throw away items, you hold the item in your hands, does this bring me joy?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't bring you joy, think of us. So like, it's not, I could see it and appreciate it, but that's not where I am right now.
Understood.
And who knows where I'll be, maybe I might be there again in the future. I don't know, but that's not where I am right now. Right now, I feel more drawn to other things, and I want to pursue those other things, and I want to honor other parts of myself. I feel like there's many other parts of myself that I have not even tapped into. So that's the thing, like when people talk about like, there are people who know me for and have belief in me for different things. There are people who remember when I was pursuing music. I'm like, when are you gonna get back into the music? That comedy thing, good enough, but when are you gonna go back to the music? Other people like, when are you gonna come back to theater? When are you gonna do something in theater? People who, and the skits, be like, when are you getting back to the skits? Like people, and I just see it as there are many different mediums I could use to be of use and contribute or whatever, and different parts of myself and that I could honor and that I could contribute through. So I don't see myself as just one thing, and don't see my trajectory just going one way.
So music coming back.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe.
So when they say,
but it's kind of filtering anyway. We kind of filter in past ourselves. So I end up singing in some performances, do parodies sometimes and that kind of thing. But I definitely still would want to at some point.
Yeah. So the Thief Susu money thing.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Who do that deep research? I feel it's David. I think David do the deep research.
Thief
Susu money.
Something I
think that was I think that's the biggest parody I have done to date. Yeah, my face wasn't even on it, so people wouldn't really know that was me.
All right.
But that was the height of COVID, I think, and the whole Susu thing was going on. I had this video released of this, and the thing is, that was so, when I tell you that happened so fast, I saw that video, the idea come into my mind, and that was done, I feel like in half an hour.
Serious.
I feel like that was really writing it, recording it, everything was so fast. It's always been those things that you think are just like a throwaway idea that people really catch on to.
But you say even in the joke telling is intuitive.
Yeah.
So you feel it from time you see the thing.
Feel it.
At that point in time, because you're building your brand online and you're doing it in COVID, everybody home is the ideal time.
Yeah.
And I don't know that they had a story bigger than DSS at the time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that's and that song was very popular too. That Jerusalem song. So everything just line up.
And not just that, but on you, because I feel as if when I see that video, you saying half hour, I feel like when that video come out tonight, the next morning that thing was viral. So you think of it, do
immediate. Like when I saw the video,
yeah,
it was right then. Yeah, it was really, really fast. I did not think it would blow up the way it did.
Yeah,
I had to go on. I think I was on the radio talking about this thing. They bring me on a segment on a television station, but I do think something ended up not working. Like the track wasn't playing.
Right.
But yeah, people really brought me out there to But I love doing musical parodies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
the thing about it is like when people go, they will go back and listen to it now, right? Yeah. But you could sing.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah,
I'll cut this clip
from like
cut this clip when I really smile, one.
Because Jerusalem was popular.
Yeah.
So the parody thing, which I like doing too, like parody songs. But one of the things is that if you don't hit it, it's not gonna fly the way. Yeah. So you hold the notes, you make
so
it.
You have to have some. I have some kind of. Yeah.
So where that starts? That's back to primary school and thing again, church.
I was always. I have a big brother, Dominic Soyer. He was the singer boy. He was the popular one.
Right.
And I was just in his shadow. So and sometimes I would write songs and he would go and sing it for years and take the credit. Right. But I would always be background to Dominic. And But we would sing. He would have me, we would sing since we were small and perform for mom and perform for my aunts and them. And yeah, I think, and then also just having that thing of like, you have an uncle who, people know as a gospel artist. So and then see my mom has been singing all through life. She sang in church. She was in the choir in church and everything. My aunt as well, like my uncle, so our families are very musical families. Singing was
formal
always
training is just home.
no formal training. My mother would do this thing when we were younger. We had to have family worship every morning. So we get up and everybody had to sing, and that's the part we'd be lively for. And then she started reading the Bible and we fall asleep. But for the singing part, we vibes and with it. When they start with thus, we trying to hear all that set thing, and it came to pass. Nah, with this song. But so music was always ingrained in us, and then I would start to like write my songs and thing. I remember my brother would, I guess he would have had opportunities where he get to like maybe record the people or being involved in studios, and would pull me in. I remember I ended up recording that track. Oh, you really take my back here. I was young. This is was young. No late teens. Mm. And I think through my big brother, he found out about some opportunity to come and record music at Media 21. Mm-hmm. That is John Afun and Robin, who produced Dollar Wine. Robin.
Imam
Shah. There you go. And they was like, we want to do dance music. And we could not get towards like, I think it was Sweden and Germany and that kind of thing. So they writing the dance music and they want me to sing the dance music. I say, go be a thing and they go do this and that and that. And I remember, and then I get to do music of my own there. So I wrote a song myself. I'm writing my own dance song. And the background singers for that was Carl and Carol Jacobs.
Oh.
So I sing in my dance track and then, me and them. I say, listen, they don't even know. I see them saying that they would not know that. They would not know that's me. They would know it's me. And listen, we smoke ice blues all the cafe blue all the time. And Carl even know that's me.
Carl, let them see.
Carl would never know that it's me. None of these people know that it's me. Because I hold it from me. They wouldn't remember that little boy was me.
Of course.
But I didn't say anything, but I'd be like, y'all was singing background on my song.
Yeah.
So I get to do a taster recording there. And after that, I remember another time, I think through my big brother as well, I think I got connected to Advocate, who is
Kit Israel,
mm-hmm. who his father is Roger Israel, mm-hmm. who would have done all those songs for those old TV shows and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so, went and recorded a song with Advocate. We were actually in the process of finishing the song. I think he was mixing and about to create a master. And that is, when that was going on, is when I was in UB and also working on all these things. But in that moment, I was like, okay, my first track, get my track out. Yeah. And that's when I got sick. Oh. And this man was, I think he was texting me and stuff and all that time I can't move my hand and thing. I don't wanna say he was getting vexed with me. I don't wanna say, mm-hmm. And I don't have the proof. I don't have that phone again. But he had this person he was helping with his track, and the person was not responding. Didn't know that I was, and so by the time I get back on time and get my life story, it's like, oh wow, so that kind of things. But
so what kind of track there is like soca?
It wasn't soca. It wasn't soca. It was, I don't even know what it was.
What kind of genre?
But I think it may be some kind of island pop kind of something.
True.
But it was, again, it's so interesting. But it was the name of the track was Hardin Place. Because again, even before I was in the situation, my grandparents, they were such an inspiration for me. And it was a kind of love song, mm-hmm. pulling from their lives and, from my life and everything. And it was something kind of new and experimental. And he heard it and he was like, I want to do something with this. And so we were working on it. Mm-hmm. And then I got sick. So by the time I came back out, that didn't, mm-hmm. that didn't really follow through. Yeah. But I was actually pursuing. I was pursuing the music.
But I'd love to hear a track named Hardin Place. I feel like I grew up in St. James, right? So Corie is a special place to me.
Okay,
so when you say Hardin Place, then that's home.
Really?
Yeah. So when people talk
people say I'm Hardin Place, okay.
Yeah, it should be the
don't know what they're expecting. But for me, but no, because it's everybody have a different experience. So there are people, who come from places where they build, nice parks and nice houses and nice structures, and other people like myself who come from a place where, in my opinion, they build character. right? From my, my grandparents and my the people I was around and my community. Like, I learned a lot of, stuff came from that. So I'm very happy about where I came from. And that's our claim there, even though I've been all over the place.
Yeah, I hope more people do that, because we must. I like the way you put it too in terms of building character, because I mean, look at the things that come out from these places. They should be studied rather than discarded.
Yeah.
So what does a career in music look like for you, or part of your career in music? If you're doing it now, you're a soca man, or is it genreless?
I would want to do, I would like to kind of be genreless, I think, until I find whatever the pocket is. But I wouldn't be against, like, I have of my own recorded soca before, my own little thing, shared with friends and thing. And it might not be soca, because I remember when I record some soca, and I played for Junior Lee and I played for Jerome Richardson, some friends of mine. I remember Junior Lee say, yeah, boy, you should really do calypso, you should do calypso. It's like, all right, so that might mean you really see me soca for me. I ain't really know. I ain't really know. If you play a soca for your friend and your friend say, you should really do calypso.
Yeah. They're trying to tell you stop.
Yeah, I know. But no, I don't know. But as I wouldn't rule it out. I have a great reverence and appreciation for that whole art form. And so I would love to see what, especially as a writer, because I like to write. And that's why I could kind of like find myself falling into the background a lot, being a more of a background person, because I have no problem with that. I'm learning the assignment from a lot of my friends and a lot of my family to try to be more front facing, get some main character energy and stuff. Like, pushing, look at this person, he's gonna be sort of be like, okay, look here. So I try to work on that. First step coming on the Corie Sheppard podcast.
That's the first step.
I love a first step. Right? But so I wouldn't wanna put a, but it have to be the things that suit me that I could I do and execute well.
Yeah, I get that from you a lot. Like, it's gotta be you.
Yeah, it had to be authentic to me.
Poetry is something you also did. So you went to the poetry slam as well?
Yes. And I had no intention, because to me poetry had always seemed very corny.
Really?
I look at these people there coming up there and talking about every year after year, Father, why are you abusing me? You are 38, move out. Rent somewhere last year. He was abusing.
Landlord thing. You said the landlord are funny, stay home.
But no, I just kidding. And I don't want to trivialize anybody's pieces. All these things are powerful. But that's where I saw it before.
Right.
And I remember one of my friends, Justin Michael Barker, who happens to be somebody with a disability, he said, come and, he's like, I entered this poetry slam. I would like you to come and see it. So I attended at Central Bank and I saw him. Again, then I know accessibility and that kind of thing. So I had to lift him on stage. His piece so happened to be about the difficulties of being somebody with a disability. And it was not a funny piece.
Oh, okay.
It was very much, he went in on the people. It's very, very biting piece, and the whole room was like, oh my gosh. And then I kind of, but to see him come up there, and because he would share things with me, and I know how he felt about different things, but to see him articulate it in that way and formulate it in this way and then deliver the message to the audience and have them, feel it, I was like, okay, so this is useful for something, because I have thoughts and I have opinions and I have feelings. Right. And as much as majority of the time I'm being funny when I'm on stage, this is somewhere, and it could be funny doing spoken word as well, but I saw it as, okay, this could be more serious space. So my approach, I really didn't think about making it through or winning anything. I just went and I tried it. I thought there's somewhere I could air my feelings about certain things. So my first piece also was about being somebody with a disability and not just being somebody's inspiration. But, and I got through to the semis. And from the semis, I got on to the finals. And the finals, I came second. And again, for that first piece I did, that first finals piece I did, it was talking about that whole breathe on purpose thing, that experience I had in the hospital, right? From then, people flooded in from Facebook who said anything. I was crying all night. This meant so much to me. This touched me. This moved me. This inspired me. I was like, okay, yeah. So this is the place where I could. For spoken word, you just need your point of view, your convictions, your voice. They provide the platform, and you could speak directly to Trinidad and Tobago. You could speak truth to power. You could you could share this with them, and also you could win money. which do hurt.
No, it does not.
So I was like, yeah, man, I wanna use it. So I did it the first year. Came back again after that. Came second again. Yeah, and continue to do that. Continue to use it to touch on all the issues that I felt like, okay, this is what I would normally do a rant on social media about. Let me make it rhyme, and now you're listening to me, and you're digest it. So that was what spoken word has been for me. I haven't entered recently, but this year I didn't enter this year, but I definitely have a lot of respect for that space now. Having seen it, it's more than what you perceive
What
it to
you
be.
thought it was.
Yeah, on the outside.
Yeah. I find
But
it's
you see, a lot of people think spoken word is like like kind of corny and weird and thing. But that's just because they only ever been exposed to Kyle Hernandez. But if you get past that, I'm just kidding. Okay, give him a shout out. Ain't tough now. Give him a shout out. I just joking. Big up Kyle. Big up Kyle. Yeah, he's a good one. But it has so many, and like this year, it was so cool. It had people come from had Morpheus. It had so many different point of views, so many styles and voices and that kind of thing. So it really is something that a lot of people should definitely support.
I think so. It's like when they tell you do this soca and it should be a calypsonian. I parallel it a lot in my mind that space. Meaning the
Yes.
Yeah, so what Calypso was doing.
Yes.
And I
yes.
see, for instance, I like when Darren Sandy does breakdowns of Calypsos, right? But I wonder if you all see that, because there was a space before where you could go and stand up on a mic and complain. You had a band behind you, but you could complain and you could sing truth to power, whatever it was.
Yes.
And I feel like all of you's doing that in a way that, because I like the word you use, biting.
Yeah.
Does that make you check yourself sometimes?
Yes, and this year I get to sit as a spectator, not backstage, not figuring out my piece, but actually just getting to watch and fully enjoy it. And yeah, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of, they didn't hold any punches, they didn't pull any punches, hold back. And yeah, so I have a lot of respect for that as an art form, and for the people there who just kill it with that, like Darren Sandy, like Alexandra Stewart, all these people. They really really talented.
Important
young
space,
people.
important space.
Yeah,
in my
Bocas
opinion.
Lit Fest, yeah, big up all those people.
For sure.
They're amazing. Yeah.
No, again, going back to Junior League, when he was here, he mentioned you and Simi as working the bar circuit. Like just trying to find mics and trying to work that. And one of the things he says specifically is after you do an open mic where a man just party hard, but his father died, you had to go on and do comedy.
But so in our way, Junior Lee is my elder in that sense, in that he started before me.
I see.
Yeah, so
And
him,
stand up.
yeah, so he would have gone and done that before me. So he would have gone and found open mics that were for other things, and they performed there. For me, by the time I came on the scene, there were open mics for comedy.
Oh, I see.
But we also went and created our own spaces. Like he said, we perform in front of people's house under tent, we perform in people's office, we perform in casino, which is the worst. Do not I would do it still because I like that. I like the challenge. But they're not laughing. They will tell you shut up, because who want to laugh when they lost their money? Who fight? They have nothing funny when they losing their money. Casino, because I think they would say that we have had shows with nobody and that kind of thing, and that was the word. Casino is like negative attention. Like you performing and they want no part of that, and they irritated by you, but you had to perform and do your job. Now that don't bother me. That's why for COVID, for me, didn't really shake me. I could perform for a camera. Like nothing. Like it's for Napa. Like I don't need the feedback. But other comedians, they need that. I love it. I enjoy it. That's very validating. But I could still do my job. So I would do my job anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he would have done those kind of ways. But we work it everywhere, and we've been doing it. A lot of people, it's interesting. A lot of people come and they say that they don't know comedy is going on here at all.
Yeah.
Because we have been all over the place. But it is niche. It still is niche. Which we have to understand. But we've definitely built a community, and we've done a lot of groundwork. And that's why, now we have our individual brands. Everybody have the individual shows. A lot of comedians have the individual shows. But there's so much talent when it comes to comedy here.
Yeah.
There's so much good material.
Yeah, well, we short of material in this country.
yeah. It's really.
But I think for me, like the parallel, and I hear people say it all the time, because I have not seen an era like this for comedy in Trinidad for 20, 30 years, David. I've not seen this at all, like a movement.
Yeah.
And like I saw something last night I was watching and they were honoring Tommy Joseph or something. Then man, when that in that space, and maybe it's the same parallel I draw in my mind, because the comedian then was a host of the Calypso tent.
Yeah.
And you know, so there's a parallel there. But
it's good to see Tommy honored
100%.
2 years after we honored him. And that's the thing. The youths have been, we happy to get all the honor. All the honor is good. Any honor, all the honor to him.
No, but it's important.
But a couple years ago, we definitely, so we did Larry Joseph first. So what we did, we created a show called The Big Comedy Show. And at The Big Comedy Show, we would, get a big venue and we have the newer generation as supporting acts. And we honor and pay homage to the veteran comedians. And so the first one we had Larry Joseph, and we brought him out and we presented him with a Big Stone Award. It's an actual Big Stone Award, but it's a proper award. It's a proper award, a Big Stone Award. Thank you for paving the way. Big Stone Award, thank you for paving the way. And he was just moved to tears, crying on the stage and everything. So he's like, who's next? And we had to do Tommy Joseph next. So he brought him up, did the same thing. He came and he did his comedy, like a nice 20-minute set for the audience, because these are people who would normally they haven't been to a tent and they're not really going to anywhere where they would normally see Tommy Joseph. So we brought our audience to see him. And it was very good to see like all the generations paying attention, fully respectful, fully engage and enjoying him and exposing him to that. So yes, I'm glad that other people are also because we want to celebrate these people while they are here. I've been very, very fortunate. I don't know, I can't speak for any other comedians. It could just be me, it could be my situation. I don't know. But I've been very fortunate when it comes to the people who have paved the way, like Pricey. I can't say, and like she has been overwhelmingly supportive. I don't know if anybody, the moment she meet me or quad window me, it just has been pelting love my way, pelting
in your absence
positivity.
Too, right? So I can put that too. It's not just when
in my
you're
absence.
There. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she's a really good one. So I don't know about anybody else's experience. They said, "Oh, Pricey customer, but that's you. I'm so sorry. What did you do? What was your part to playing getting custom Pricey?"
Thanks, David.
You get custom?
100%.
Oh shucks. Well, David.
But David is customer. David no
What did you do? But yeah,
but you've been getting love.
Yeah, I mean, I remember people telling me, they had certain experiences working with Marshall on different things, and that is you. Marshall was very nice to me. Very nice. I don't know him like that, but meet in shows, and then when I work with him writing film for his show, very, very, and Errol Fabian, very, very.
When you say writing film for his shows, is it comedy roast?
Yeah, the roast of Marshall Montano. Yeah, I wrote for him and a couple other comedians.
His response?
Yes, I wrote his response and a couple other comedians on that thing. That was very, very nice. I wasn't there. I didn't get to go.
Oh, no.
I didn't have a visa and thing and all that, the point.
All right.
At that time. We good now. But I got to see the clips. Again, another validating experience. I'm not there, yes, but my work is there and I'm seeing these people in this theater roaring, laughing at something that I wrote. This fella from Hardin Place, Corie, So that is like, yeah, man, I have something to offer. You know what I mean?
It's evidence that you could do the thousands of people that you intend to do. It's evidence.
Yeah.
Have we talked about roast now?
Sure.
Kevin Hart get roast the watch
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Because I see now the backlash to it. Now, again, I want to put the caveat that I'm a real fan of stand-up comedy generally. So I've watched roast for a long time. I know what I'm getting into. I know what I'm going to see.
Yeah.
Like, what's the man named Jeff Ross? Yeah, they have a few of them, Chelsea Handler. So they're always on that circuit. But I think Tony Hinchcliffe is the one that people hold on to.
Yeah.
So the backlash has been that...
And the host who was...
check the name for me, not David. Kevin Hart, roast host. But yeah, he part of the Paul Rogan team.
Yeah, kind of,
And the backlash has been that there's too much racist jokes against Cheryl Underwood and Kevin Hart in particular. What's your thoughts on it? Because my thought, and just before you say that, I remember seeing Marshall doing that roast.
Yeah.
And I find he should have never do that.
True.
Yeah. I mean,
no, unpack this. Why?
Say it? Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis, yeah.
And again, I watch Kevin Hart and I don't feel the same way.
Okay.
I feel like Marshall is
Too
mine.
above that.
He belongs to me.
Okay.
I want to keep him in cotton.
Agreed.
I don't want nothing to happen to him.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody say nothing
Yeah.
about him, you know, because the same way you're talking about honoring Larry or Tommy Joseph, I see him as a icon and a giant.
I do not get starstruck. I don't know why I don't have the starstruck gene. But the only person I ever get starstruck for was Marshall.
Oh, I see.
Was Marshall. I don't know what it is. He is a different level. I just hold him in that kind of regard. So yeah, for sure. For sure. And for me, I just felt like what I took away from watching him do it is like a performer is a performer is a performer. This man would have be the best at whatever he did. We lucky not in comedy because he'd have be the best comedian. He is just really good. So seeing him deliver this stuff and seeing him being able to like laugh at himself and that kind of thing, I was like, yeah, even more.
Yes,
even
because when you write
more
it is one thing, but how he delivers, you still have to be able to do that.
Yes, and I was really impressed by that. So for me, I could understand how like you feel like he untouchable.
Yeah, that's why certain people shouldn't say certain things about certain people.
Yes,
Maybe
it was
it's
more
just
like that. It was more like be like, who is you to talk about? Who is you? What qualify you,
you
to
know,
talk?
maybe it's that.
Maybe
No,
it's that.
you
But,
say
also,
that.
but if he wanna partake and you know go through a different, you know, I don't mind that. Or like if he wanna, you know.
Yeah, for sure. When I had him here and I asked him about it, that was the shortest answer of any question he gave. I said, "Boy, you was coming?" He's like, "Yeah, for sure."
He
He didn't seem uncomfortable at all.
No.
So what's your thoughts on the racist backlash and what happened in the States now with that Kevin Hart thing?
Listen, I cannot come from the school of anything could be funny.
Evidently, we learned that today for you.
Right? But it had to be funny. So that I think the main feeling would be like if it just wasn't funny, if the audience did not find it funny. But that's also very subjective too. So I don't know. I'm not somebody who support policing comedy. Or censoring comedy really. So I feel like if I was not that offended. Like, yes, there were offensive things said. I was more bothered by when it was like the bomb saying it. Like, it was like, okay, all of that, you bring up all that trauma, all that racial trauma, and the punchline was not proper payoff.
Gotcha.
That's the, so if the payoff is good, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that is the issue that comes in for me. But I mean, Cheryl Underwood, I think she killed that role. She was, I think, the best one for me. But it's more like her dead husband and that kind of thing. I mean, like, that's what comedians do. It's like comedians, I mean, the audience will be here feeling however about Kevin, and some people might feel very protective of Kevin. Like Kevin could talk about this, boy, you don't talk about Kevin.
Yeah.
And then have a comedian be like, you ever think about how Kevin would look if he trying to be romantic and he'll walk off the stage and then he'll come back on the stage on the elbows rolling. But and it bang, like it did.
And when they do that,
and I laugh and I scream, and I am screaming, but also thinking, how am I gonna get them back? Because I check the Rolodex now. But yeah, so for me, I would more come from the school of thought of like address the thing, talk about the thing, like don't be so offended by everything. And yeah, so I don't know. But I mean, I also don't want to invalidate people's feelings if they feel triggered by something. But then that probably was not the show for you to be watching.
Yeah,
don't see something called the roast and know that it is where, like, in a roast, I think is everything
that was Cheryl
is.
Underwood's response.
Yeah.
She said, if you sign up for this and you look at this is what it is. I also read in Kevin Hart's book where he said, if you get to be backstage and in a comedy club,
that is how it
and
is.
you see how comedians talk to each other, he said, if you feel offended, no.
That is it. Yes, that we do that to each other all the time. Like, oh God, hopefully the group chats never make it. Would destroy me. The group chats go destroy me.
Yeah.
Because that's our language, and it was so cool to find other people who speak that language. That in itself was such an amazing thing.
Freeing,
People
I suppose.
that's how we navigate. Like, we are those ones. We just the kind of outliers or the observers, and the kind of ones who just like say whatever. And to find a community of people who are like that. Yeah,
that observing thing is something else, because you had to stay that observed thing that comedians have and see it very differently from everybody else. So you spoke about Larry Joseph, Rachel Price. Those are people who, again, they like Marshall too.
And there's more Penelope Spencer and all
see these people. You had seen you would have been young.
Yes, I would not see him performing live, but you see the ads and that kind of thing. And and I would, and Yeah, so actually, to meet them, each I probably have a story of each of them. But yeah, like to see, like when I first meet Larry, I went back. It was Naprima Bowl. So come up the state Naprima Bowl. They go in those nice dressing rooms, and yeah, I stand up in there and I hear the voice, and he comes. He's like, I just wanted to meet you to tell you are so I can do what you does do, you know. I said, well, I can do what you does. He said, oh, just back and forth. Like you're just so nice. Like everybody. I don't know if it's just them or if it's me or if whatever, but. I've always been very fortunate, you know, everybody,
good
Rody
experiences.
meet me, he hired me for her, you know, I used to write on the Rody show,
I see.
do his shows, like everybody I've come into contact with who has been, you know, forerunner or a trailblazer, they have always been very, very generous and, you know, supportive and that kind of thing. So I can't say a negative thing. And I think, I don't know what the other industries are like. I think I get a sense that maybe music might be a little bit more cutthroat. But the comedy part, real kumbaya, boy. We were real.
Yeah, it's something I wonder about because Larry, Rachel, Nikki, Crosby, they have a good bit of them who
Never
would
met
do their
Nikki,
own
but would
shows.
love to, love to meet Nikki. I looked at a lot of her work from back in the day.
solid.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I'm like, she is back in the day better than plenty of we who are now.
You know, it's a funny thing because now when you say watching them in ads, it makes sense because so much of their work would not be recorded like how y'all.
But no, I have it there because I was doing a show with DJ Rockus,
Right.
and who's somebody like when you talk about Calypso and thing, like I want his encyclopedic knowledge
Yeah,
of
genius.
Calypso. I really appreciate that. Really great guy. And so he had challenged me to go back and find the comics of the past or like, you know, their work from the past and share it with the audience and that kind of thing. So I would go and I would research and find them and that kind of thing. And yeah, every time I look, I'm like, oh my God, they are back, no internet, no whatever. Where they was pulling these things from and so sharp and so, you know, so good. So yeah, Nikki, Errol, John Agitation.
Yeah, bad, man.
All, I mean, brilliant. So I have a
Even
lot
Paul
of...
Keynes Douglas, I know you have
Yeah,
a lot of respect
he's a
for him.
storyteller.
Yeah, hell of a storyteller. He will laugh
Yeah.
at some point, but he's taking a place, boy.
Yeah. And these, I think, you know, my daddy that I did, that he wrote that. And so I thought I was having a full circle moment the other day because the last time I did the Poetry Slam, he was a judge. And I thought, yes, man, I have the best piece because all poets think you are the best piece. So I was like, I'm going to win this Poetry Slam. And Paul Keynes Douglas going to present me with this
Imagine
$50,000. And I have to tell him, you know, you start this with my daddy.
Yes,
and he's going to say, oh my gosh, I'm passing you the mantle, Kevin Soyer, from me to you. Are we going to be in the Express? I say, oh my gosh, look at this. I backstage thinking this. I can't wait. When the call results, I am come third. I am come nothing. I say, but where's this? My fantasy went out the window.
But I got a chance to
He
tell
stand
him.
up with somebody else getting them the $50,000 check.
Must he tell him
I
the
say,
same
I'm
story?
not going back. I'm not going back. But yeah, I hope to meet him someday to tell him though I did get
Oh, you
plenty.
meant to meet him, yeah, go, make that
I
a
get
point
plenty
soon.
mileage out of the My Daddy.
Yeah. Because I mean, maybe him and V.S. Naipaul, I've never seen people paint a scene the way they do.
Yeah.
Them just tell a story and you're visually in the space when they get there.
Yeah, for sure.
So y'all as a unit now, or if it's individually, it seems to be that you make an effort to do your own shows that support one another, individual shows, and y'all are the supporting cast and so on. Deliberate in terms of how y'all approach the business part of it?
Yeah, I never wanted to. Because again, I'm a played safe. I'm very strong,
Right.
but I don't feel like I'm very brave. I don't like to risk embarrassment and failure. So I never wanted to take all the risk of the producer and then have to deal with if people didn't come out and support. So for years, people like Simidi Trini and Kes Ramsey, who would have been doing their own shows before me, Junior Lee, who did their shows before me, saying, Kevin, you need to have a show. Kevin, you need to put on a show. And I'd be like, yeah, when I reach that level, it was like, you're at the level now, you've been at the level, put on a show. And yeah, so they really pushed me. Before that, what we have and had then as well is Laugh on the Have, which is this company.
I see.
All these comedians come together.
Okay.
And we would have the shows, and what we will do is literally split everything equally for everybody. No matter what level of a comedian you are at, or you feel what kind of following you have, no matter how long, everybody gets an equal share of everything, and everybody, contributes in some kind of way. I found myself though naturally because of my personality in a kind of leadership role in that, along with like Kwame Weeks and Loris Leasing, known as Lyrics. We were kind of like the heads of that. But so I was kind of like comfortable in that space.
Gotcha.
I could do this. I want to push everybody else. I'm very comfortable pushing other people. I could talk about, you know, the people I'm a fan of, Kes Ramsey, Junior Lee, everybody for hours and hours. Come to talk about me, except with you, because you're so conversational.
Of course.
Right? But so yeah, I was comfortable with that. I want to just push everybody in laugh on the avant, like we just come up together and together again. But it was like, Kevin, you need to branch, what you need to do. So I took this step and I booked my first show and went really well. And it was a whole other thing. It was a whole, okay, no, this is my direct thing to the audience. This is my baby that I get to share with them. There's a whole other experience.
This was the sit-down show? Or that was,
yeah, well, the first one, this was in 2023.
Right.
Government Plaza. So that one was sold out. Moved to Queens Hall. That one was sold out. Next year again, Queens Hall. That one was sold out. I had another one this year. That one was sold out. I've never not sold out. I needed to be doing this all the time. Right? Because the people who were coming, they were seeing me. They were seeing how I perform and what I offer and that kind of thing. I just wasn't aware. So the support was there and I was able to tap into it. And it's been because now it's me doing the hour. Now me talking directly to the audience. And know that not just they appreciating it, but they're coming back the other year. And new people coming in because they see the work, they appreciate it, it resonates with them for whatever reason. And it's my own thing. So we would have different themes to laugh on the half and this and that and the other. But for me, my show is therapy, or I have therapy and intervention. How can I these kind of themes?
Gotcha.
But and therapy was really just that. It's just me sharing with the audience. I want to take you on this journey, talk to you about these things that some of it might be heavy, but we're gonna laugh through it. And it's just been evolving since there, and I get to incorporate parody and music, and now including improv and spoken word and all the different facets of me into my show. So yeah, that was the journey. And I think so like for Simi was motivated, I guess, by a lot of the same things, as well as I know for her as a woman, as a single mother, she had to be somebody breadwinning, earning, and that kind of thing. So she, producer shows, and then Kes Ramsey, he has this whole open space. There's nobody doing Christian, or at least Christian-friendly comedy. So he, did that thing, and then Junior Lee, the soca, the comedy fete, because we need somewhere to cuss. Yeah. And that is what, we have.
Hey, filling that whole way. You helped me a lot with that here. Yeah, everybody came here and say, boy, we don't think, I know you don't cuss on it. I never told anybody what to do, but after Junior Lee, everybody knew what to do
after Marshall. Even after Marshall, to be honest, I never really meet Marshall like that.
Yeah.
So for me, Junior Lee is the best thing to come out of Trinidad and Tobago. I just think he's a huge, huge star. I just think he is, but need to keep the eyes. And that's why the other day when people were attacking the gentleman, I had to tell some people some choice things.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of the things I said, but
Yeah, I don't tell nobody nothing. But
to see his journey, boy. And it's crazy how people will be watching the videos and think like he's known for the videos. He's a skit man.
Yeah.
The way this man was live performing before that, and just him as a whole, the entity that is him, I've seen people, no matter what the demographic is, he enter the room, he just bring joy. He's joy as a person.
Yeah, it's a problem.
He is human joy.
He's
just
a problem
joy. Just
room,
he is. Yeah, for sure. He is simultaneously this old weathered businessman who just man, the thing where you going, and a 9-year-old boy just walk around the place. And if it's a helicopter come and then a big truck come and then the thing a more control car, he is those two things at the exact same time is an interesting dichotomy.
He's making work. It's
Star.
interesting to hear you say that about him, and he talk exactly like that about you. So my question is, let me call to all in the pinnacle then. And in terms of putting it together and doing your own shows and stuff, I wonder if you see us in places like Netflix. I can't wait when I see a comedy special come out on Netflix.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we have so much to offer. So all these fresh perspectives and all our colloquialisms and our history, we have so much because a lot of the other stuff is played out. And that's why I always tell comedians, don't try to be an Americanized American comedian. Don't aim to be a good stand-up American type comedian, because I already have better American type comedians because they are actually American comedians. Now we have this whole pool of stuff to get into here. So absolutely, I see more than just the Netflix, but that's not the pinnacle for me. I see it going way further. I see movies and television and stand-up tours and arenas, and I definitely see sky's the limit, and I just see star quality in so many people. Apart from Junior Lee, I think Taddy Boom is another one to look out for. I think he could have such mass appeal. People need to get on board.
Sure.
He's another really great one. Again, a brother of mine.
Yeah.
So,
but something that I want to commend you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Before we go, but also, you see that little part where we talk about the way you see the world and the way you dream.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna need you, because the audacity to come up with that. So, for instance, I just want to see you in a Netflix special for a while. I want to click a Trini and see that come up, and I be able to watch that over and over like I do with Chappelle or Bill.
But you'll watch it? Or you will go looking for the Kiefer one?
What are you saying?
you see Kevin Soyer big one.
Depends on the Trini.
Say it had nothing to watch on Netflix here, boy. Would you like to watch Kevin Sawyer? It had nothing at all.
Next episode.
Yeah.
But you're dreaming, and the way you see the world, it needed for us to get to that space. So congratulations.
I appreciate that.
Thanks a million. I appreciate you coming out today.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
We do it. We got him, right? Yeah. So everybody who was upset, thanks, Brent.
Okay, stand down. We did it.
I appreciate it.